Board games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. Today I'm going to review one idea from someone who sent it and gave me the clear to share it live and say what I think. I've got water and milk beside me to drink. Here's the milk, even though I hear that it's not very good to drink while you're doing the talking pot. Hey, I'm not being paid for this, and I really fancied some milk this morning. And here's some water. And then I might be playing games on Steam. There is really not much of a theme. Board games and video games, it's what I'm playing today. Board games and video games. Today is Sunday. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. I am Bez, and today is Sunday, the 2nd of May. It is 10 a.m. UK time, which means it's time for Bezzy Beats and Board Game Bladder. It's episode 361, and I am carrying on for the next 39 days, every day at 10 a.m. UK time. Today, I am reviewing your ideas. If you want to chuck something in, then, and you're watching this right now, if you get it in the next hour, then I'll probably get to it. But yeah, as of the time of writing, I've got 2 emails now. Cool. So yeah, we've got one from Alex Cannon, which is Escape the Dungeon. This sounds interesting. And we've got a game pitch from someone else. Cool. So let me. Anyway, so that is what's going to be going on today. I've got a couple of things emailed to me. I'm going to chat about them. I'll say what I think. And then after that, I will probably play some games on Steam. I will also review some other things. And yeah, just say what I quickly think of them. Let's talk about... Actually, I guess it makes more sense to review the other things now, because I'm reviewing my recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights, recent highlights, playing games and other delights, recent highlights. So what have I been up to? This is a not safe for work book. I'm just kind of trying to make sure that there's no non-family friendly things. Pure Chance by Junko Mizuno. I borrowed this book. It's very interesting. It's it's strange. There's sorts of a mixture of BDSM, sexuality, and yeah, I'm actually trying to look for a page that I can happily show. There we go. That's a page that I can... You can see the art style. It's very kawaii. It's... The story itself, for me, the characters don't come across that strongly. The director of this... So in the future, Pure Trance is some pill and people overeat, and there's a hospital for overeating. There's definitely some sort of themes of eating disorders. It's a bit strange. It's never really dealt with or addressed, but it's just kind of lingering in the background. And then the director is this sadistic person who's incredibly uncaring. There's a world with strange animals, and honestly, the reason to read through it is because you love the artwork. If you love the artwork, then give it a go. If you don't love the artwork, if you are someone who prefers things that are a bit more narrative based, then this is going to leave you wanting. That's my quick thoughts on it. I also played a few games last night. I played 3 games on Steam, which I might well play again later on. One of them is Monster Loves You. Monster Loves You, oh my gosh. So, Monster Loves You is kind of a choose your own narrative text adventure. There aren't puzzles, you're not typing anything, so the word text adventures, it's kind of reminiscent, or you've got paths you choose, you've got branching choices, you've got little bits, and then some of your statistics might go up or down. You determine what sort of monster you are, because it's kind of cuddly. So, like, you do eat snakes, you do potentially eat humans. There is some graphic, slightly cartoonish violence of eating a little boy and a little girl who've just come out of a gingerbread house, but nothing that you wouldn't see in a nursery rhyme. It's not too graphic. It just says you eat these people and you're crunching up their bones. But are you ferocious? Are you honest? Are you kind? Are you and then you build up these different stats, and then you go through adulthood where the monsters determine whether they respect you or not. And if you manage to become an elder, which I was really proud to build up my stats, and then I managed to bring the humans and the monsters together. It was lovely. It was a heartwarming adventure. Also, yeah, Potato Man, Searchers for the Truth. This is one game where it's one of those, okay, you need to work out exactly which pixel to go off. In the first level, you're going along, trees will start jumping, and so you need to learn to go underneath. It's one of those kinds of games. And then it's a quick thing. It's really nicely designed, and it gets pretty trippy at the end. And finally, why can't I open up Steam? Oh, there we go. And finally, we've got something called Survive in Space, which is kind of a dogfighting game. You do build up statistics, and for me, around level 19 or so, I started getting too good for the game. So even though I'm putting the yeah, it kind of feels like my level has gone up faster than the difficulty rate has gone up. It's a bit strange. But anyway, I've been enjoying games on Steam. How about you? Have you been enjoying things? I hope that you have. I hope you've generally had a wonderful day. And so now it's time for questionably quick questions. So the question that I always like to ask myself is, what time is it? Where are you? Right now it is 10:08. I am in North London, near Finsbury Park, also close to Enfield, if you've heard of that. Slightly less close to the Thames, slightly less close to Houses of Parliament, although I could cycle there, but it would take me at least an hour, I reckon. Right now, my legs are out of practice, not going to lie. Oh, and talking of recent highlights, I had a lovely walk and talk with a friend, cycled for a bit, had a walk for about 4 miles, and then had another cycle back home. So, those are my questionably quick questions. I do like to start off every day talking about a brilliant thing. Sometimes I just look around until I see something and I'm like, you know what, that's a brilliant thing. Whether it's notebooks, whether it's boxes, whether it's walls. I mean, walls are brilliant. Let's respect a wall. That's kind of, it insulates us. It stops the wind blowing in our faces. It stops things coming into our homes. I mean, walls are pretty darn brilliant. Without walls, we would just not have these warm, cozy homes where we can put things and ensure that people aren't coming in and out and taking all our things. It allows me to, be here in relative solitude. It's not that I want to be all alone, but I don't want every passerby to automatically have access to this. And that's a really nice thing about walls. I mean, yeah, sometimes we want a little bit of protection from other people, from animals, from the other thing that I spy is a hairband. Hairbands are pretty darn awesome. It's for tying up your hair, and sometimes when it's down, your hair can get in the way, but why not use a hairband? Hairbands and walls, both are brilliant things. If you enjoy this show, then please like, follow, and if you are watching after the fact and I'm reviewing your thing, then please do me the service of doing a wee comment and letting me know whether you agreed or not. So let me get to it. Okay. So firstly, a very short thing for review from SDR Game Studio. So what's going on here? And let me put up as a comment. So Ree from SDR Games.studio says, hedge hopping hooligans. 2 to 4 players battle against each other as teams of urban animals. Okay. Using whatever junk you can find to build the best catapult. I like this. I like the theme of putting stuff together. I'm imagining maybe some sorts of, you can't really get Goldberg machines, but how are things going to combine? How is that going to work? Use your team of creative critters to sabotage your opponents and fling yourself to victory. So that theme gets me interested. Yeah, but it's different, at least. At least it's a different theme. I guess that's some sort of mad inventors challenge. I'm a bit confused, honestly, by the whole, why are these animals building catapults? Are they trying to spread themselves? Are they trying to, explore places? And how does catapult, how, I'm really struggling to imagine how that catapult mechanically would work. So, yeah, for whatever reason, I'm having an absolute block on how you would. Is it just this junk gives you +1 firing power? Maybe you've got some things for the elastic, some things for the pouchy bit, some things for the bendy, woody bit, and something for the base. Maybe you've got 4 aspects, and then you need them to combine somehow, and maybe they've got different qualities, and maybe it's just add up the numbers and then the person with the most points wins. I'm honestly trying to work out how this can turn into not just a add up all the points of these categories, and because to be fair, that's fine, and it does remind me slightly of where is it? I've actually got it in my suitcase behind me. Hideous Abominations. And so Hideous Abominations, the actual gameplay of this is all right. It's not great. It's fun enough. I'm not saying it's bad. Hideous Abominations is a solid game. But I think that the real joy of Hideous Abominations is, and so, look, there's lots of games where you're getting little sets and then adding them up, and then the person with the most points wins. Hideous Abominations, it's really cool because of all the linking bits of monsters together. I'm thinking, if you could make a catapult, that looks cool. Is that possible? Because making a catapult, it's a nice theme, but honestly, is it nice enough as the main hook of the game? I don't know. And the other thing I want to say is, if you are planning to make this game in the next 6 months or so, then don't let my slight negativity, and I do apologize if I've been excessively negative, don't let my negativity get in the way of your creativity. If this is something that you have a vision for, then you keep going. And along the way, maybe you will discover a new hook. Maybe you'll get to the halfway and then you'll realize, wait a minute, there is no real hook. Because to me, oh, do you want to create a catapult? Okay, honestly, yes, that is a nice theme. It's an interesting theme. It's a theme that's going to make me look a second time. That is what I will say about it. It's not, but it's not enough. And also, I would say battle again. There's if it's just a take datsy game, I do worry that it might just be very in terms of an experience, it might be very similar to a lot of other things that's already on the market. Does that make sense? I hope that's been of some vague help. And yeah, but it's definitely a theme that I've never heard before. So second thing, this is from Alex Cannon. Let me share this screen because this is quite a big one. So I have never read this. I would normally skim read these before showing them, but I trust Alex Cannon. So this is 6 pages. I'm probably not going to read the entire thing. Escape the dungeon. 5 dice, ideally 4 whites and 1 black. Okay. 1 meeple, 1 pencil, and 1 sheet per player. You're a dungeon explorer hunting for treasures and fame. Try and sneak through the dungeon without making too much noise, or you'll surely perish before you manage to escape with your loot. Okay, so it's Clank, the roll and write game. I think I might have heard mention of this. And you know what? Because I wouldn't do this for everyone. For most people, I would actually just read the first 2 pages and leave it at that. But because Alex has been the winner of the competition and I owe Alex some attention and time, I'm going to try and skim read through this whole thing quite quickly. Okay, so dice are actions. You move from room to room. I would say you'll be moving around the dungeon. You'll be moving around the dungeon, gathering treasures, or you will move around the dungeon, gather treasures, upgrade your character, and fight monsters, giving you points at the end of the game. Cut that down. To explore with the most points wins. Get this bit in a new line. In this game, everyone plays simultaneously, all using the dice rolled at the start of the round. You can decide who will roll the dice each round and whether this person will change. I understand why you've done this. I understand that maybe the person rolling the dice doesn't even matter, but I would be clearer about that. For someone who doesn't play games, I would say it doesn't matter who rolls the dice. You can agree before the game whether someone will roll the dice or if it... I don't know. I would be inclined... I have not much of an opinion. I would be inclined to explain that, but maybe that's just me. Sets up. Everyone gets a sheet, meeple and pencil. Every player puts their meeple on the start spot in the top left. When you gain something, fill in the circle around it. If you later need to use it or lose health, cross it through to show it has been used. If you cross through your last health, you are out of the game. You cannot lose skills, so these can be filled in straight away if you wish. So roll dice, get treasure or whatever that means, noise, actions. Yeah, roll 4 actions, 1 treasure. This is where I would have appreciated some sorts of player sheets. I want to know what the player sheet looks like. Yeah. If your meeple's in a room with a question mark, then take a look at the number rolled on the treasure die. Each question mark can only be used once, so after you've used it, cross off the question mark in that room to show this has been collected. Loot, money, and chalices are added directly to the tracking section. Potions, when you gain a potion, circle it in the matching slots. Okay, cross it off to use it, that makes sense. Noise, you must make some noise. Pick 2 unused dice to add together. Okay, so which are the dice that you're using? Then take... How... Yeah. Okay, this feels weird. So you choose which ones are the unused ones, and then you choose the actions. I would do this in the opposite way. I would do actions before noise. I'm not quite sure right now why you've got it in that order, but it makes sense to me to pick what you're doing, and then you can say pick the 2 unused dice, because as it is, what is an unused die right now? If all the circles under a number are full, upgrade the skill by filling in 1 circle. If the number already has all its circles filled, you're attacked and lose 1 health. Okay, this is an interesting thing. So if you make a little bit of noise, so if you kind of potentially, yeah, you get something. And interesting. If someone has exited the dungeon, all other players get 1 extra noise at the start of the round. How does that work? 1 extra noise? I honestly don't understand that. Does that mean increase the number by 1? Or does that mean roll the dice and then you roll 2 dice and then you get that? I honestly don't understand how this works. Yeah, honestly, struggling here. 2 of your dice can be used to activate the action slots. Oh, it's can be or are. If it's this is what you do, and that's what it makes sense is to do, just do are. Sorry, I know I'm nitpicking, but this kind of annoys me because the word, it can be used for this, that leads me to believe that maybe it can be used for something else. If it can be used for something else, then great. But if the intention is that I use it to activate an action slot every turn, then just say 2 of your dice each turn are used to activate the action slots. Okay, each action can be taken a number of times in order to fill circles. You do not have to use an action all in one go. For example, if you have free move, you could move once, do a different action, and okay, the action slots are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not. Okay. To upgrade, oh, so maybe it's up to 2 of your dice. To upgrade the action, fill in 1 of the circles in that slot. The added action must match the right action type if you're upgrading from noise, or it can be any action if upgrading with a star. Ah, cool. So the actions, the upgraded actions that you get are new. Wait, that's 11 new things. So these new things go into action slot 2 has attack strength 2 and a single move action. Whenever you roll a 2, you would gain all of these actions. Interesting. So not one or the other, but why are there different dots to fill in? That feels a bit... Those dots make me feel like looking at this, I would imagine that the 3 dots on the top in this little section, the 3 dots on the top are referring to the sword, the 2 dots on the bottom are to do with the moving. And yeah, so movement, sure, move 1, attack, you attack this much damage, defeats it, cross them off. I guess you're keeping track of the monsters and there's no attacking back. Defend. Oh, if you're in a room with a monster, they will attack you. Reduce any attacks you receive this round by your total amount of defense. Magic. Change your fate by modifying the dice. Oh, change 1 action die by any amount up to the number of circles filled. You cannot change a die if you have already used it. This round, Healing. Some number gain this amount of health. And gain what amount of health? So, does it mean you gain 9 health? Or does it mean you gain 5? Does that mean you gain 5 health? Or does it mean first time around you gain 1, second time you gain 2, third time you gain 3? Again, I'm not sure how much of that. Resting. If you do not wish to use the die for its actions, you may instead rest by crossing off a circle next to the rest icon. If you fill up a row, gain a skill. Okay, so that's interesting. Encountering monsters, entering a room with monster, they will attack you. Take damage equal to their attack minus any defense you have this round. If you survive, you can attack them. Fill in their health by the amount of attack you have this round. Okay, that's a lot to take in. And again, to anyone watching, thank you for watching. Happy birthday to anyone whose birthday it is. And I wouldn't be reading through a 6-page rulebook for most people, but Alex is very much a special case. Encountering when you enter a room with a monster, they will attack you. Take damage equal to their attack minus any defense you have this round. If you survive, you can attack them. So can you attack them only on subsequent rounds or... Oh wait, on the same round. Fill in their health by the amount of attack you have this round. So you have to move and maybe defend or maybe attack. If you don't do both, then you will get... Okay. That makes sense. Like, they get initiative, they are hitting you, and so it's dangerous. So if you're just moving, then they're going to hit you, and then next turn they're going to hit you again before you even attack. Okay. I wonder, like, is attacking going to be just too difficult? But I have no idea. I have no idea what kind of health they normally have. How much you're attacking by, I honestly am a bit unclear about that. When all the monster's health is crossed through, they are defeated and will no longer attack you. Cross out the monster, you may only gain the coins or gems in that room once the monster is defeated. And then we get to the things that actually give you points. Coins, 1 point each, and you buy items. Gems, a set of these, get sets. Stars to upgrade skills. Monkey statue, 5 points, cool. And chests. Once you circle the chest you pick up. Okay, so you get 1 chest, and it's like, okay, what is the chest that you're going to pick up? Once you've decided to pick up a treasure chest, you cannot drop it. I like the gameplay thing that you're going for. I appreciate why you might be doing this, because you circle it and then you've chosen to do it. But thematically, it doesn't make any sense, but I still dig it. Okay. If you've purchased a backpack, you may pick up a second treasure chest. Oh. And for some unknown reason, a powerful magician has teleported their pop-up adventures shop into the middle of a dungeon. Seems like a high-risk strategy to me. The grey, rounded rectangle rooms in the middle of the dungeon have things for sale. So backpack for 7 gold, crown for 7 gold, crown for 5 gold gives you 10 points. It coins, so you're changing 5 points to 10 points, changing 7 points to the potential for like 25 points, I guess. Star, upgrade skills, health potions. How much does that let you heal? I have no idea. If you ever run out of health, you're out of the game. If you reach the exit, you gain 30 points but cannot move back in. Once someone's reached the exit, all other players will gain an extra noise every round. Makes perfect sense from a game push it towards the end point of view. And then once all players have escaped perish, add up your total points. Wait a minute, so even if you perish, you still get that many points? I would like just confirmation of that. I understand that to be true, but it feels very weird. I've not actually played Clank. And so these kind of slightly unintuitive things are things that you should reiterate. Anyway, notes, it can be helpful for the players to have their own sets of dice so they can keep track of which ones they have used for noise, which actions have been selected, and whether some magic has been used to alter the die roll. Otherwise, use the die roll tracker along the side to keep notes of the dice. I was about to just say a die roll tracker because welcome to Dino World. That's exactly what, I can't remember whose idea that was. I think it was Cesar's. I can't remember. It wasn't my idea. But yeah, and welcome to Dino World. There's a little bit where you write down what you've done for each turn and which dice you've actually used. So, but then that's ideal if it's a fixed number of rounds. And so, might you want to make it a fixed number of rounds? Might you want to make... Honestly, this seems like a perfectly fine rulebook, but I say it's fine. This seems like a good This seems like a good start to a rulebook. The game itself seems perfectly fine. There's a lot that I don't quite understand. But maybe it might make sense if I had the rules, if I had the player sheets in front of me. I don't quite understand. Okay, so that single movement is the same. I guess the attack is the same, the defense is the same, but how much do you defend by? What's the total amount of defense? I don't understand what's the total amount of defense. I don't understand gain this amount. Gain what amount? Is it that if there's one heart? And I don't understand why it's 3 and 2, why there's 2 separate tracks if each time you fill in a circle you get both. Those are things that feel quite unintuitive to me. And I'm also slightly uncertain about the attacking. But overall, as a game, like, it seems like a really solid start. And I hope that the points that have flagged up have given you something to think about. And I hope that it's been of some use. And this just applies, this mainly applies to Alex, but also could apply to other people, especially because I'm starting to Alex, even outside of my streams, if you want to make a bit of time, we can playtest something together. I don't currently have a working printer, but we can make it work. And people in general, I'm going to start streaming as of the 11th every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. UK time. So if you would like me to play through this game on stream and play through it and have a wee bit of a chat, then I would be totally up for doing that. Milk. So yeah, nicely done, Alex. That does seem like I've not seen the player sheet, but this definitely seems like a nice wee thing. And Stream Elements reminds me to stretch a wee bit. So, unless anybody else has emailed me anything more in the last half hour, I am just going to talk about some... I wasn't showing my emails. So those are the 2 emails that I got. That was interesting. It was an interesting experiment. Parts of me was worried that I might get too many, which is why I put, if I get too many, then I think I mentioned it on Twitter, and 2 people got in touch, and I told them my email address, and only one of them actually followed through. And I reminded people every day on here. I told people on a couple of Discord channels and a few people, and I did all that by Wednesday, so I gave people plenty of time. And yesterday, when I realized that, okay, I'm really short on things to review, I mentioned in one Facebook group, and I put a link to my CV to say, hey, not to say, hey, look how important I am, but just to say, yeah, this is kind of where I'm coming from. If you send me a hook for, yeah, like this is the experience I've got. So I'm not saying that all my opinions are qualified. I've got lots of unqualified opinions, but these are the qualifications I've got. Anyway, I might try this experiment again at some point in the future and just, yeah, try and make a bigger deal of it and see if I get any. Because I'm actually quite curious. Is it just that not enough people saw it, or is it that people? I'm imagining. So a certain number of people saw it, and of that number, a certain number of people have, something to share, and of that number, a certain number of people are going to take the step to share it. And well, I guess, did you see it? Did you have something to share? Do you value my opinion or inputs at all? And then did you take the time to do it? So these three had to be done, and that was something that I could control for sure. I mean, I'd like to believe I have an opinion. Frankly, I've been paid by some big companies, so it did slightly surprise me that only two people got in touch. But then, having said that, I think I remember James Wallace on a show about, yeah, James Wallace runs a game design course and has this big email list because of it, and sent out an email to say, hey, I'm part of this company and I don't do this for everyone, but if you would like to send me any pitches, then send them and I'll look at them with my professional hats on. And no one had done that. So I think people are just quite shy and not good at getting in touch. But that's the way things go. So for the rest of the show, I am going to change the banner and I am going to play a bit of Monster Loves You, because I want to play it a second time, and why not? And in future, I am, yeah, probably going to be doing solo games. Monster Loves You. I'm clicking on play. Apparently it took me 94 minutes last time. Can I get this to be... perfect? Toggling full screen. Playing Monster Loves You. Just a second, I am going to pop this up. And morning, Alex. I literally just finished reviewing your thing. And it's totally okay. I read through it. There were a whole bunch of things that I was uncertain about. You can watch the video on demand, and it seems like a fine game. Yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty. Please, I'm not going to recap all that, but yeah, you're very welcome. And now I'm going to go onto Twitch to change the thing, because for the rest of my show, whoops, I am going to see if there is a category for Monster Loves You. Oh, there is. Lovely. Playing and chatting. That is what I am doing. Okay, so Monster Loves You. What? This is a weird game. It's reminiscent of game books. Vaguely. It's got a really simple branching narrative tree. So Monster Loves You. And I am going to have to increase the size of this. So you start off, it's invite you only get one button to click on. Long ago, deep in the forest. And I would include the words that. Long ago, deep in the forest, that monsters called the Veil Mist. That's right. Long ago, nestled in the heart of the forest was the monster village of Omen. You are born from slime that holds the memory of monsters known for... And I'm just going to choose the opposite of everything I chose last time. Actions and attitude. So the game starts with you choosing... And I'm just going to tell you, just so you don't get disappointed, you don't get to see a picture of yourself. I was really hoping that I would see a picture of my monster. That's the payoff I was hoping for. And then I got into adolescence and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to see the monster. That's sad. But anyway, your simple dreams will give way to life itself. You dream of... What do we dream of? Protecting innocent monsters from harm. Facing frightening enemies. And these tie up into the 5 things. So you can see very dimly at the bottom: bravery, cleverness, ferocity, honesty, and kindness. So I'm going to go for the one that's... So there you go. It adds ferocity. Your body is... Yeah, there would be lots of combinations for graphics, but... Yeah, that's the thing. That's why graphics aren't a great fit for branching narratives in a way. Yeah, especially since you've got these stats that go up. Anyway, so you apparently grow up in this green slime, and I don't know which of... You awaken in the chilling season, just as the air begins to turn crispy cool. Your eye is open. You only have one eye. You're a morsel. Just barely born, you float in the spawning vat. Dozens of other morsels are exploring, flailing, and stealing food from each other. Thank you for lurking, Alex. I appreciate that. And I'm going to stretch, and you stretch out. Feel the tips of your arms split and harden. The hard parts move through the stuff around them, forming parallel curving pieces. Flex the curving hardnesses. You have claws now. Slash the slime and try to swim. Okay, so I got this adventure last time. Another morsel swims towards you. It opens its mouth to show you a set of small, sharp teeth. And swim away. We are monsters. Why would we swim away? I know I said that... Okay, I said I would do the opposite of all the things last time, so I'm going to see what happens. Yeah, if I'd done the other things, I would have been brave or ferocious. You kick with new legs and paddle with new arms, squeak with a new mouth, and cry tears of slime from your glistening eye. The aggressor is left in your wake. It turns and latches onto another morsel. Do we lure the attacker away, or do we keep swimming away? Let's choose the terrible options and see what happens. Let's be scaredy cats. You become stronger and more confident as you escape. Behind you, the violent morsel tears its new victim apart. And then there's the second test that I remembered this from last time. A morsel is too weak to swim properly. Do we ignore it? Too bad, but these things happen. Or, oh no, that's terrible. Let's be the most callous monster ever. You paddle yourself elsewhere, looking to live your own life without thinking about the end of another's. You've grown too big for the spawning vat. You must move on to the next stage of life. And yeah, the advice is just to raise up your stats. Now at this point, I click on this button and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 12 different adventures, and we're going to choose 8 of them. So, and I think that this monster represents us with the one eye. It wasn't super clear to me, but each time you click on it, you get a little quote. So let's go over here. Hamrag, an adult monster, sleeps in a big pile of monsterlings. Everyone is comfortable. Great. Blops, giggling, sticks lichen in all four of Hamrag's nostrils. Hamrag's eyes shoot open as he starts to choke. Blots shushes you with a threatening scowl. Yeah, we're going to be a horrible monster. We're going to help Blots tease Hamrag. There's an explosion of snout snot. All the monsterlings are covered. Hamrag rages and punches the cave wall, shattering stone without even using his claws. Who did this? Who plugged me up? Letting Blots take the blame. And Hamrag jumps up and down on him, splattering him into slime, claws, and fur. Yeah. So apparently in this world, monsters can pull themselves apart even after you get destroyed. You can get squished. But Hamrag still has some lichen in his nostrils, and you have to work very hard not to laugh at him. Elder Marinus leads you and some other monsterlings to a secluded grotto at the back of the cave. Up high, it's a rusty iron cage. There's something inside it. It's a collection of bones. Marinus says, this is a human skeleton. If you can get it out of the cage, you may play with it. And so what do? Do we climb a rope? Do we get help from a friend? Or do we toss something up to tip the cage over? So the rope is frayed, apparently. The lock rusted away. So tossing something up might be good. Climbing the rope seems stupid, so let's do that. Oh, we get bravery. Paw over claw you climb. Monsterlings cheering your way. The frayed rope snaps just as you reach the cage safely. While you recover from your fall, Gobclaws climbs up by ramming her pincers into the cave wall one after the other. She throws down the bones. Oh, neat. We get a femur. So you see this is the level of childish cartoon violence. They're not innocent monsters. They are actually monsters. They are eating humans, but it's not too graphic. You rush over. A big snake is eating helpless morsels. They moan and cry, but it doesn't stop. Okay, I am going to engage in cannibalism and eat monsters. Do I ignore it? Last time I played this, I was brave and I fought the snakes, but I'm just going to be mean. My bravery has gone down and my ferocity's gone up. A great ice-covered elder storms in and roars at you. She swats you to the cave floor and yells that you've taught the snake that it's safe to eat morsels. I shall repair the damage myself. She swallows the snake in one gulp and kicks you out. That makes a lot of sense. Nash Nash spies a delicious mouse head mushroom. Mine! She plucks it from the floor, but it tumbles from her claws and bounces into a dark crevice in the wall. Do we get it? Oh, gets it as in gets it for Nash Nash. That was unclear. I would have appreciated you letting me know that, I do, by the way, like these graphics here. Let Nash Nash get her own darn mushroom. Or tell Nash Nash she's too afraid to go after the mushroom. Yeah, let's be mean. Lost some bravery. Perfect. I'm trying to get my stats as low as possible. Nash Nash swipes your head. No way am I scared. She scrambles into the darkness and returns, finishing off the mushroom. You are halfway towards becoming an adolescent. Firm up your personality. A roly-poly fox stumbles into the brood cave, leans against a rock, and coughs. It looks vaguely at you and the other monsterlings, showing no fear. I'm going to wait. Nash Nash pounces on the fox, tears off its head and eats it. Blots and Gobclaws move in for a few bites, which Nash Nash graciously shares with them. I am an antisocial monster and I've decided to leave them to it. Just checking, my bravery is 7 out of 100. Cleverness is 0. Ferocity is 13. Honesty is 0. And kindness is 0. So if I'm trying to go low, I'm doing pretty well. I'm just honestly, because I finished it and I was like, oh, I got the best achievement. I managed to bring unity to the monsters and the humans. I was so proud the first time. And out of the endings, when I looked at the achievements, it feels like the one that I would most like to achieve. But then there were all sorts of other achievements. It definitely feels like something that I would maybe not spend an entire day working out every possibility of, but something to see what happens. Okay, spiders, as big and round as plates, are scurrying across the floor. Do we confront the spiders, stay between them and the other monsterlings, or throw blots to them as a sacrifice? Okay. Lower our bravery and we seize blots and hurl him into the center of the carpet of huge spiders. They scatter away from him. He stares angrily at you as the spiders flee. By the way, if I had talked to the spiders, I would have found out that the spiders were just looking for directions. I remember that from last time. Okay, Nash Nash and Gobclaws racing to the ceiling of the cave. They've already climbed way up when Gobclaws invites you to join them. You don't see a good way up, though. Okay, I'm going to admit I'm not most... Oh, I got some honesty. So Gobclaws nods quietly at your admission whilst Nash Nash hoots at you and calls you a coward. And 2 elders smile at me. Oh, that was... Mark sits quietly by himself in the furthest, darkest corner of the cave. He's slumped and deflated, like a float pod missing half the gas inside. His eye brims with slimy tears. Would we hug him? Or, yep, it's a him. Would we ask what's wrong? Or leave him be? And last time I asked what's wrong and then I consoled him, apparently he's having some body issues, but I'm going to leave him be and do absolutely nothing. Smark mopes around for a while, then lies down and doesn't move for a long time. You feel slightly guilty. Oh wow. It's actually quite... That's a fair reflection of depression. Oh my, you wake up and find you're no longer a little monster and you're growing up. Elder Marinus calls the oldest monsterlings to gather in a group. You're one of the oldest ones now, so you should join them. She looks grave. Last time I went and then I did the whole growing up ceremony, but this time I'm going to hide and watch. You squeeze behind a big boulder at the back of the cave. There's a wide tunnel behind it, big enough for an elder. And I hid, but Marinus slides the boulder aside. She and the other monsterlings are surprised to find you there. I will pretend I was waiting. Cleverness +3. Oh, says Marinus, you're certainly eager to go. And hello, Scrappy Kid, it's lovely to see you. I've just been reviewing a few things from other people, and now I'm playing this video game, which is called Monsters Love You. Oh, I should give a shout out to Monique. And on Monique's channel, there's... I want to so Nicholas Leroux, a shout out to Nicholas from Monique's Discord channel who gave me the Steam code for this game, and I had a bit of fun with it last night, and I'm playing it again today. Oh, good for you. I had a wee walk around this morning myself, and I hope that you had a good walk. I'm going to go for another walk with a friend at 2 p.m. I've arranged something after breakfast/lunch. This is a game all about us being monsters and growing up and trying to be what kind of monster we are being. The first time I played, I was the best monster ever. And not only did I become a monster elder, which not every monster becomes, by getting the respect of all the other monsters, but then I managed to make monsters think highly of humans and vice versa. So I actually brought peace and unity to the monster. I was like an ambassador for monsters and humans, but this time I'm playing totally differently. I'm trying to be the worst monster ever, just to see what will happen. So this is our coming of age ceremony. Marinus the Elder stops in a warm, humid chamber with a pit in the floor. She points to the pit, which sieves with a thick mist. I'm not going to jump right in. I'm not going to be brave. I'm going to wait for her to make me go. Marinus pushes you in with a sweep of her tail. Do I just shout, ah, or do I playfully swipe at her tail with your claws? Let's see what happens. Okay, ferocity +3 for swiping. You fall, and you fall, and you fall, and you're falling, and other monsterlings are falling. I like this kind of Alice in Wonderland-y vibe. Some of them are crying, and you can't see through the mist. Or is it fog? Maybe clouds. Moans and groans and whispering screams. Where is this? It must be somewhere. You land on a smooth, flat stone. Despite those swirling vapor, the floor is as dry as a bone. Is it dry as a bone or is as dry as a bone? I think that grammatically it should be as dry as a bone. But maybe Americans speak differently. You hear other monsterlings breathing nearby. Some of them are still above you. I should have done the other thing. I should have tried to Okay. Last time I took charge and I led the monsterlings out of this cave. This time I'm going to let someone else lead. Other monsterlings continue to mill around in the misty cavern. Should we follow someone who seems confident? Or should we admit we're lost? If I'm trying to be the worst monster ever, this would probably add some honesty. So let's follow someone who seems confident. Added cleverness, yeah. One of the biggest monsterlings starts to walk with a determined stride. You and the others follow, soon coming to a round cave full of even thicker mists. You lose sight of everyone. Again. The chamber swirls with mist, smoke, fog, vapor, except it's not any of those things. It's ghosts. Hundreds of them, large and small. The ghosts are everywhere. One by one, the pale ghosts begin to turn their attention to you. Their eyes glow different colors. And I'm going to take the scaredy route. This ghosts speak in many voices, all hollow and distant. All in unison, they ask you, do you fear? Okay, so this is scary. That probably gives me honesty. Attack them might give me ferocity. Wait and say nothing is what I did last time. Let's say, yes, this is scary. Okay, your answer echoes back to you, louder and louder. You crouch down, trying to hide from the noise and fall unconscious. Okay, so I've got 20. Okay, so that's bravery, cleverness, ferocity is kind of high. Honesty is somewhat high, 24, and I've managed to keep kindness at 0. Nice. Okay, so now we start living as an, oh my gosh, I am actually different. This is me. Oh my gosh, I am actually different. I was totally wrong. This is me. This is totally me. Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, you do. You know what I said at the start of this game, that you don't get a visualization of your monster? Apparently you do. Apparently this is what you get if you're a little bit ferocious. And also quite honest. So there you go. I'm a spiky blue monster with claws. Let's enter the big bad world. And again, for this part of the game, we're going to have 8 days. We're going to have 8 adventures. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8 out of 10. Moopsy Morel slithers up to you and says, I wonder if you can confirm a rumor for me. I will have nothing to do with Moopsy. No. Moopsy mutters, very interesting. What are you trying to hide? I don't know why Moopsy sounds like Borat. Loud, drooly, snapping sounds come from the square, where you see Proofrock single-clawedly. Shouldn't be Podley, because we've... Anyway, taking on a rampaging pack of wolves, he grunts to you for help. So, are these wolves a threat? That might add cleverness. Push Proofrock to safety and That's a very ferocious and brave thing. Help him scare them away. Or stand back. I'm going to go with stand back. Bravery zeroed! Your cries are drowned out by the howls of the bigger monsters. As they join the fray, they quickly scare off the pack. Proofrock brushes past you, hissing in disgust. These monsters have a very short lifespan, and just want to acknowledge that. I mean, 8 days of... And... Oh boy! Smark sets up a human chess chat. You sit down to play. You don't know the rules, but a smart monster like you should be able to figure something out. Okay, last time I used the Inferno Gambit and set the board on fire. Do we blow the pieces off the board? Do we glue the Smark's pieces onto the board, or do we kick the board over? Avalanche attack! Kick the board over. Cleverness, -4. You start by taking a running leap and kick the board over a roof and 2 trees. Smark waves his arms to indicate a foul. His pieces are all gone, but so are yours. It's a draw. And last time I wasn't ever sure why I wasn't getting respect, and then I realized that I was getting respect in the next stage of life, but felt a wee bit odd, that bit to me. Suddenly, a stinging rain pours down. And thank you, Stream Elements. Thank you, Robot, for reminding me to stretch side to side. Do 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 do. Everyone scatters and gets under cover, even Blithering and Smark. So how bad is this weather? Run under cover with them. I'm not going to be brave or ferocious. I am going to run under cover. Cleverness +3. Play a game or wait quietly while the rain is coming down. This is a very American game, isn't it? You cuddle with Blithering and Smark under the bleachers. Even though I'm trying to make the worst monster ever, I am just too tempted to see what kind of games we play. You take turns opening your mouth to the falling rain, trying to suck up all the drops. Unfortunately, you choke and spit a mouthful of water at Smark. We apologize. or do we do it again? Blistery spits water on you, Smark splashes a puddle at both of you, and you all spend the rest of the storm making your own fun in the pooling water. Oh, that does sound fun. Nash Nash is picking on the tiny Blistery. She gets knocked down every time she gets up. Nash Nash asks if you want to help. Should you ask why she's doing that to Blistery? Walk away? Help Nash Nash and hurt Blistery? Or I'd rather fight you, Nash Nash. Let's walk away. Ferocity -4, that's exactly what I'm after. Trying to be the worst monster ever. You wave off Nash Nash's offer. She shrugs and continues to stomp on Blistery until she gets bored. Okay. You see Jaggery in a haze of buzzy, angry yellow bees. It looks like he stole a beehive off of a tree and took it home. You can see why. Honey is irresistible. Jaggery motions for you to help him. Should I size up the situation? Should I help him out? Should I not interfere? Or who cares about a few bee stings? I'm tempted by one of the last things. Being selfish and grabbing the honey or not interfering. I'm going to not interfere. You shake your head and slowly back away, then turn and run. Behind you, you hear Jaggery begin to howl as he is stung several thousand times. Wow. Something smells good. You and Gobclaws find a trail of feathers at the edge of town. Following, you find an eagle with a bleeding wing. Is that good? For several hungry monsters, possibly. For 2 small ones, maybe not. This eagle is big, and hurt or not, he could probably mess you up pretty bad. Okay. I'm trying to be the wimpiest, worst monster ever. I am going to run away. Cleverness +3, ferocity -4. That seems like what I wanted. Later, you hear an older monster yell, "Hey, look, a dead eagle, who wants a bite?" The sound of cracking bones and shredding feathers makes you hungry. And our final adventure, sniffing the air. Could that be frosting? Blotz greets you and Nash Nash with a fluffy pink cake. Nash Nash says, Blotz says he stole this from a human child. How do you three share it? What's frosting? 3 cups confectioner's sugar, 1 cup butter, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons whipping cream. Whisk butter and sugar together for 5 minutes, add vanilla extract and cream, beat for a minute more. Wow. So randomly in this game it gives you a recipe for frosting. That is, wow. Okay. I like that humor. I like that. Well played. Okay, so how do we share it? First one to the center wins. Distract the others. Or it's a human cake. Think about it. You know, like humans would. Let's... I don't know. First one to the center wins. Cleverness +15? Really? The 3 of you circle this cake and plunge your faces in, eating until the plate's clean. Then you eat the plate. How is that a clever option? How is first one to the center wins a clever option? I don't get that. I don't get that. Adolescence is fleeting. Apparently it only lasts 8 days in Monster World. You have grown beyond youth, and you have become an adult. You've been dragged from your bed by your friends and neighbours. I'm going to fight them. They surround you and hold you down, not ungently, until you stop struggling. The neighbours throw you into the centre of a great circle of monsters, all older than you. They whisper to each other, then look at you, then whisper some more. The monsters murmur and mutter, spit and snarl. They are deciding what best defines you as a monster. Do we wait? Yell at them to hurry up, or take a nap? Oh. And in any case, I apparently need to plug my laptop in. Let's take a nap. Snock. I don't know how to make these noises. Someone shakes you awake. They've come to a decision. The ring of monsters shuffles closer to you, forming a tighter circle. Elders loom over you while the smaller adults crouch low. Your surroundings go shadowy and dark. Wait, what's happening, or what do they want from you now? How are these different? Wait, what's happening? This is the end of your adolescence. Your body becomes tougher, and other grown-up monsters will be more likely to listen when you speak. And went back. You see concern in some of their faces, but very little respect. So what? Does a monster need respect? And let's let them assign me a task. Apparently, I'm clever. Someone gives you a tangled up ball of wires and a little glass bulbs, a human artifact of some kind. Untangle it to prove you're smart. Okay, do I try and probably fail to untangle the knotted ball of wires, which requires cleverness, which I don't really have, or do I rip it in half? Let's rip it in half, see what happens. The crowd gasps as you drop a dozen short lengths of wire and 100 little pieces of coloured glass. You've done what they asked, sort of, but you've ruined the artifact in the process. Okay, so my cleverness is apparently 32%, honesty 24%, ferocity 11%, and kindness and bravery are at 0. Okay, now I've got to. I wonder if I had. I wish I could go back and try that last option. I wonder if I'd failed, if they would have thrown me back into the birthing pool. A small pack of elder monsters are huddled at the edge of the omen, watching in the woods and discussing something in hushed tones. Elder Hamrag is saying, "This could simply be a rumour. We don't know they're out there for sure." I walk on. I leave it be. I'm trying to be the worst monster ever. You show your newest collection of human artifacts to your neighbours. They seem suitably impressed and listen in. The truth is, I just found them in the woods. But everyone seems so interested. It would be a shame to let them down. Monsters do love a story, so you could stretch the truth. And I stretch the truth just a little, I chose. You tell how a talking fox, those nuisances are everywhere lately, try to beat you in a riddle contest with the artifacts as the prize. I won the contest by biting his head off. Everyone seems to believe you. They nod in admiration. It's the scream along, sing along. Everyone screaming, loudest monster wins. I will run away. You get the smell out of Omen while everyone is warming up, sparing your delicate ears the inevitable damage. You hide until it's all over, cringing at the cacophonic caterwauls that rise from within the town limits. Cacophonic caterwauls, that's a nice turn of phrase. I appreciate that. Today's the day of the Spinner 500, the big spider race. Winners are regarded highly by all around town. And I choose, let's not do this. Your neighbor, the elder monster Elila, walks slowly in the direction of the brood cave. Elila? Elila who? She's one of your next door neighbors, but she's much older than you. Months and months. She has tough scales and eyes of different sizes. Do I watch or do I follow? Let's watch. As she passes down the road, some of the other elders nod to her. They then go to her hovel and start smashing things. I'm going to say it's none of my business. Apparently I never see Elilia again. Oh wow, that sounds kind of sad. The spine monster is treating two injured monsters. And spine monster breaks off her own quills and uses them like sewing needles. Little iron pots boils over a small fire, but it's just water. The doctor seems to have run out of something. So the spine doctor is Marinus' cousin twin and has many pointy bits all over her body. She is an ancient monster, older even than an elder, and has healed the sick for many years. Okay, who's hurt is a clever thing to do. Continue to watch. Offer to get involved is kind, so let's continue to watch. And the doctor cleans the wounds, draws loops of thin twine from her pouch. Breaking off one of her spines, she uses it like a needle to sew shut the largest cuts. She sings wordlessly during the procedure, applying a gentle touch whenever a patient stirs. The attention, the kindness seems as important as the actual treatment. Oh, that's lovely. Even though I got no stats, I'm glad that time exploring these terrible options. Gobclaws shows off a human doll she found in the last hunt. A crowd of elders and other monsters gathers around you, chattering excitedly. She asks if you think it might be good to show the doll to some of the monsterlings. Let them see a human-shaped thing without actually seeing a real human, you know? Educational. Do I say absolutely or probably not? Let's go with probably not. What's my explanation? Some monsterling might get the idea that humans aren't our enemies. We shouldn't know the humans too well. If we get sloppy, we wouldn't hide as well. Let's go with that. That seems like a terrible choice. Oh no! Apparently that was clever. And I got 5 respect. I'm not wanting your respect. I'm wanting to be the worst monster ever. All of Omen is abuzz. Elders glare angrily at everyone, then look back at the broken sign at the town gate. Look down at a little piece of the sign you're holding and blush. Wait, what did I do again? Coming back from a hunt, you were so full of high spirits that you jumped up and slapped the sign. You just slapped a little too hard with your claws. Okay. Blethering spots the bits of sign that you're holding. Hey, don't tell anyone you broke it. It'll get fixed. This will all blow over, it's just an ill wind that blows over nobody any good. Bygones will be bygones. Blistry is often accused of thinking she knows everything. This includes human cliches. All of them. Blistry says, I can take care of this. Look, I took a bit of the sign too. I can slip some into Virok's hair when he isn't looking. Nobody ever believes him since he always lies and steals things. I'm going to... So I got clever +3, honesty -6. You and Blistry go to your hovel for tea as someone shouts, Look what Varric has, part of the sign. As you sip your tea, you hear Varrock protest. He stops and starts to cry as other monsters begin to howl. Sounds like he's in a lot of pain. You close the window, blotting out Varrock's screams. I like the juxtaposition of the things that I'm clicking. This is good tea, and sip? So just totally ignoring. Kind of, that definitely plays into my slight guilt as a human. I like that. The snake moon is rising in the sky, and it's time to gather snakes for the ritual. Snake moon? What indeed? What is this snake moon? Sometimes the full moon has shadows on it. That's got to mean something. Monsters celebrate these shadows with snake soup. Snake soup. So, shall I set out to gather snakes, or... Nah, I'll let other monsters do all the work. Cleverness -4, respect -3. Boom. That's what I'm trying to do. I am trying to be the worst monster ever. You are not allowed to join the circle of monsters around the snake cauldron. They know you are leeching off them. Gobclaws and you are arguing about what to have for lunch. Suddenly your favourite food flies down from the sky and perches within arm's reach. The magpie chirps, have either of you seen a cornfield around here? Your stomach growls. Do we eat it, which is probably adding ferocity? Do we help the birds, which is probably going to add kindness? Or do we scream and flee? Of course we scream and flee. And this is where I feel like the game should just not let me politic with monsters because I've done all the options, but still it lets me go in there, and then none of the options are valid as far as I can see, and then I've got to cancel. It just feels a wee bit weird. So I'm exploring the Veil Mist. Let's go with this sword. You find a red hood and a basket in the middle of the forest path. A human house is nearby. Funny. You never noticed it before. There's a white picket fence out front. I do enjoy how this game has, bits from here, Red Riding Hood, and earlier, what's that one with the gingerbread house? You know the one I mean. Oh, sorry, I totally missed Scrappy Kid's comments ages ago. It says, I played the digital fighting fantasy book online last night, but it was a bit brutal and we kept dying. I mean, yeah, fighting fantasy is pretty brutal. By contrast, this is just light and fluffy. And I am so sorry that I missed that comment for so long. But yeah, fighting fantasy is really this is just, do you eat a magpie or do you not? There's no death, honestly, you're going to get stats no matter what you do. Unless you say creepy, stay away. And then you lose respect, you lose ferocity. And Blotz pokes his head over the fence and waves to you. He shouts, Hey, we found a wolf here, full of rocks. Weird stuff. Hey, you're not afraid, are you? Yeah, that is a weird thing in that story. As you explore the Vale Mist, you notice that the air smells faintly. This is the one I was talking about, of gingery bread. There, ahead, there's a flock of very fat birds pecking at a trail of crumbs that winds through the trees. Let's try the crumbs. They almost taste like a last resort. We're not starving, but if you were, they might taste better. Hmm. So do we follow the trail or do we chase the birds away? Hmm. Let's chase the birds away, even though, yeah, adding ferocity. It makes you feel bigger and stronger for a little while, apparently. You and Nash Nash encountered a proud bear. This is an honor and a problem. The proud bear has killed monsters, something rare in the animal kingdom. He stares at you. Do we flee? Nod cordially and leave? Formulate a plan of attack or consider the bear? Considering the bear. The bear is so potent that it deserves capital letters when being referred to. He shines from within, radiating a light invisible to the eye but plain to the heart. Oh wow. Let's flee. Ferocity -4, respect -3. That's exactly what I was wanting. And now I've got 1% respect. The bear takes on Nash Nash, who's just barely able to fend it off. Then she returns home. She tells everyone in Omen how you cowered before the great animal. Final day, what do I do? The spine doctor has asked you to catch a special fox. It limps, she says. And it coughs. I need it quickly, if that's all. There's no time for questions. Get the fox or don't. So do we go after it or just go home? Last time I went after it, so I'm just going to go home. She scowls and goes looking for another monster to do her bidding. You're growing old, my friend. Your body is very soft and you drip slime everywhere you go. It's getting hard to leave your hovel. Do we stay inside and think about this or embrace our fate? Let's think. It's your time and you know it. Unless you've lived well, your body will return to the slime from which it came. But if you have done well, shall we think about what happens if you've done well, or shall we ponder the noise outside? Pondering the noise outside. A group of elders is waiting at the door of your hovel. They've seen your drippings. They know it's time for you to dissolve or ascend. I will ask them to come back later. I could refuse to go. I could go with them to dissolve or to become an elder. I'm going to ask them to come back. Oh, wow. They do go away and then they come back tonight. You sit in your hovel contemplating the coming change. The elders will soon be back. Do I slip away or do I go to the elders? I'm going to slip away. You stop running just outside of town, gasping. What are you going to do? Every whooshing breath turns into a gurgle as your softening lungs fill with slime. Shall I think or shall I go away? I'll think for a moment. You wait near Omen, lurking close to the forest paths you've walked so many times in the past. Your body quivers as you drip more of yourself onto the ground. Shall I keep running? Shall I return home, admit my fear, and give in to my fate, which requires honesty, which I don't really have? Shall I lurk as long as I can so I can help another monster escape, which requires kindness, which I definitely don't have? I'll try that, just to fail. I dissolve before anyone else reaches the end of their adulthood. I just didn't have the will. Goodbye, cruel world. Perhaps the next will be kinder. And that's it. The end. I got an achievement. Legend of Departure. I'm going to actually screenshot that. So that was 40% cleverness. Everything else was 17% or below. For me trying to make a very bad monster, I feel like I did well. Over the years, the elements that made up your body, I'm enjoying the fact that there is an epilogue. The elements that made up your body find their way into myriad plants, animals, other monsters, and even humans. Monsters are magical, so in a very real sense, they are now, in part, you. Oh, there you go. I wonder what these other options are. So I've got the Legend of Minster Depart. Ah, it's the things that I've done in the past. Future monsters will remember you, one who chose to break with tradition and forge a new life outside of monster society. That was my second game. My first game was the Universal Prosperity. I dared to find the narrow gap between fear and hate. Now the monsters and humans work together for the benefit of all. I was very proud of that. I do like this game. Possibly not the best one for playing on stream, but I'm definitely going to play it again and see what other things I get. And yeah, well done to all these people who game design, programming, art, narrative, business, marketing and additional narrative, additional programming and special thanks. Nice. Well done, you people. That was a nice wee thing. And I am going to exit that. So yeah, that is Monster Loves You. And that was offered to me. I got that Steam code off someone. Thank you to Monique for setting up a Discord channel and about sharing things, and that was a lovely idea. And yeah, I feel like that was a lovely story. And thank you for being here with me. Before I go, because it's 11:32, and I will try and see if I can play this game and also keep the chat open. Wait a minute, want to quit that. Survive in space, that's what I wanted. Okay, so let's see if I can make this smaller screen. Come on. There we go. Okay, I'm going to share the screen of something else that I started playing yesterday. I've played this quite a bit. I am currently level... I don't know what level I am. And I'm going to move this so that I can definitely see the comments while I play. And let's move it onto hard. Let's have some spawning fortresses and some... Let's have all the additional obstacles. Oh, I want to make this... There we go. So in this game, you've got 3 weapons. You can see at the bottom Q, W, E, R. And I am going to go back to Twitch and change the thing to survive in space. So survive in space, you've got your health, as you can see at the bottom. That's the 268 out of 275. You've got your level, which I'm level 225, which is just wow. You've got your 4 options. Q is your basic weapon, W is laser, and E is a bunch of homing things that pop up. W and E, you have to charge a bit. And this is... So in this game, so rage when I go into rage, which is this red version, it increases my damage, but it increases my damage, decreases my health. And honestly, like with these kinds of games, it's always better to go for damage than health. I mean, if I want to... And so there I've just launched the homing things and also the laser. Because, yeah, if you're increasing your damage, you kind of are going to reduce the number of attacks that those things can do to you anyway, so... Oops, those are the ones that are shielded. I forgot about those ships. So you can also see... It's interesting, you've got this little... You've got to press the space button to actually flip left and right. And it's not like a regular scrolling shoot 'em up. It's very much... I would almost call it a 2D dogfighting game. Like, you're not going around a 3D world doing dogfighting, but kind of evading these things, moving around. It definitely has the simplicity of attack patterns from a scrolling shoot 'em up, but the fact that I'm flipping back and forth and sometimes attacking on my left, sometimes attacking on my... It definitely feels a wee bit different. I mean... Yeah, it's kind of like... It's almost like a scroll... Instead of scrolling beat 'em up, this is like a scrolling shoot 'em up, but it's not a scrolling shoot 'em up in the... Like, the nature of scrolling shoot 'em ups, which are inexorably scrolling, and then... It kind of reminds... You know... what was it? Galaga or Galaxians, where suddenly it wasn't just about enemies inexorably descending and making their way down a screen and then destroying you. It feels like... Yeah. Oh. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is a fortress planet, which is one of the options that I took to get more experience. And that's the thing. Once you get to a high enough level that you can do the tricky things, you're going to continue to get more experience, you're going to continue to level up, and then what? That's my one gripe about the game, that it doesn't feel like there's a lot of variety. It's a fine kind of... Let's listen to this, let's play this whilst chatting, or some... Oh man, oh no, I'm actually a bit scared about all those pink blobs, and I'm on quite low health. Phew, I managed to make it. 52 out of 169 health. Okay, so that's his one level. And each time it's forcing me back into the full screen mode. And this is one thing that I don't like. Why is it constantly... And apparently I've got 20 upgrade points. I just don't need to use them. I'm just not going to bother using them. If I run into trouble, then sure, I'll use them, but yeah, I'm just curious how far I can get without having to upgrade anything more. It's interesting, the notion of adding experience points to everything. I kind of gets it. Ratcheted progress feels good. Like there's definitely something to be said for knowing that. Oh, come on! Why am I? Okay, my ship was stunned there. There's something to be said for having some numbers rise, and then you know that those numbers are always going to go up. But then you get some really enjoyable games like DDR where it's about learning the patterns, about building up the knowledge. It's nothing, and you can in theory do all of that kind of thing on the hardest setting. Something like Ghosts and Goblins, like those old school games where it wasn't like you spend a bunch of time and then. But when you do spend a bunch of time and when you do get those numbers going up, it definitely kind of, it feels good as humans. But is that good game design? There's almost like a moral question about it. Oops. Colony came a little bit sooner than I was expecting. I need to beat this fortress. Boom! Fortress down. Look, the visual effects here are mesmerizing. I'm enjoying them. And like there's wee cool things like that plane that I just destroyed that it leaves the trail, and I don't know it. I'm just now playing more and more of this game because I'm a bit of a completionist, because I'm feeling like, hey, let's do this, let's keep going, let me see what happens at the end. There is a sort of story. It is very badly drawn. I will actually I don't know how far it is until the next cutscene. But every maybe 5 levels you get a cutscene about some sort of force in the universe that's trying to tap into people's distrust, and then you've allowed yourself to become consumed by this demon thing, and now you're raging and destroying all the other thing. I think it might be trying to make a statement about the inevitable fractures between society. I'm not sure, but it seems a bit of a juxtaposition. Juxtapositions aren't a bad thing, of course. I mean, speaking as someone who let's say co-designed Yogi Stock Guru, come on. That's the thing, like, I've got these homing shots, and whenever I'm in trouble, it's like, yeah, my homing shots, I've leveled them up so much. Now they're splitting up. Now everything's just... And let me actually see if I can show you the tech tree. It's mildly interesting. So if I show you this tech tree for the abilities, you get a finite number of upgrade points. And for each of these minor upgrade rows, you've got to decide 4 of them. For each of the major upgrade rows, you've got to decide 2 of them. And you only get to do 2 of them. That wasn't clear at all during the game, but it's just something that I worked out. And as it happens, I chose to do the one that splits my shots and then gives it more damage, and those things feel like they are multiplying. And so I've chosen them, so now instead of splitting into 2 or 3, it splits into 4, which is amazing. I guess in retrospect, going with critical and chance to make critical might have been a thing, because then with altogether, then I would have had plus 150% damage 75% of the time, which seems pretty good, but splitting up and having an extra 60% damage all of the time seems the way to go. And I don't, not sure about dot damage. I think that's kind of like giving someone a plague, but yeah. And then you can have your shields regeneration, evasion, and obviously I've put all my points into cooldown reduction, because if I can hit those things more often, then I win, and I've maxed that out. And bonus damage, I have no idea if there's a maximum for bonus damage. 2 more levels until I get to a boss. Let's actually go with that. So yeah, if anyone else has, and it's not, sorry, let me, there we go. I'm making the, just made the screen a wee bit smaller so that I would be able to glance over at the comments every so often. That's one thing. Okay, so you've got these 4 glowing balls around you, right? These glowing balls deal a lot of damage to things that they touch. When you're in the defensive mode, so when you're blue like this, they can regenerate. And one of the downsides of being in offensive mode is that they can't regenerate. But then one of the upsides is that they never break. And frankly, never breaking seems to massively trump never regrowing, because if you don't break, then why would you need to regrow? And so this game pushes you, is at least pushing me, into just staying in rage mode for the entire level, which fair enough, you know, but why give me an option of 2 modes and then only have one of them be meaningful? That feels uninteresting. Okay, I got pretty low on damage there, 29. Oh, whoop. Okay, getting a bit. Stream element says back and forth. Okay, I will be. Okay, I'll at least stand up straight. And then I'll do the whole back and forth in a wee bit. But I do like these fortresses. As a feature, they're fun. I find it's a slight shame that they're an optional thing, and if I was playing without the fortresses, without the asteroids going around, it would just be less interesting. I can't remember if I've got one more level to go after this. I might do the next level just with the standard medium difficulty. and show you how that looks. But do you agree with me that look, I have to make use of the moving left and right. As the levels go up, I'm not able to just keep concentrating on one side. I have to put at least a little bit of my thoughts into, okay, what's attacking me on the left? What's attacking me on the right? Getting to know those controls. Okay, keeping an eye on the laser. Keep occasionally glancing down and being like, yeah, I've got plenty of laser. It's got a short cooldown, and hey, I see that I can put down the homing things if I wanted, but I might keep it for the fortress. There is an element of timing. That's all interesting. But then, and the moving around, that's interesting. Obviously, you've got to evade the bullets. But then it's the rage mode. That rage mode is uninteresting. That's the bit that annoys me. Okay, let me... I'll show you what it would look like on medium, if anyone's... Oh yeah, I was going to do back and forth. Let me actually stand up. I mean, it just feels like the screen is pretty empty, like I'm just hitting things before they even come in. Feels sparse, dull. And as soon as something appears, it's like, okay, I've got... And I'm just actually going up to try and change the screen size. And I was able to take that break, and I'm able to like stand up and do this whole stretching and moving around, because I am not the most amazing. To be fair, I have played a lot of shoot 'em ups in my time. I feel like this is a problem with giving people additional experience points for going on higher difficulty levels. I feel like it should just be get a number of, do it on a difficulty level. If you want, you can always lower the difficulty level. I quite like the Halo system of, yeah, you progress forwards. If you have managed to do it on hard, then you can do the next level on hard, and if you ever want to just reduce it. But then that gets into the question of whether it's appropriate for everything to have experience points. I mean, clearly it's brought me in. Clearly it kept me interested to know, hey, how far, what's the next upgrade that I'm going to get? How far am I going to be able to push this cooldown? Am I going to be able to get it to a point where I basically hammer on the lasers and the homing missiles, which you can see there? Am I going to be able to get into a stage where I can hammer on them literally all the time, or not? Oh, and the inexorable ratcheted progress, the fact that I play a level and then I don't have to redo everything else. I enjoy that. I definitely appreciate the fact that it's not like, I love UN Squadron and Super Aleste. I love those games. I love Proteus, but with those old school games, there's definitely a sense of annoyance and frustration and lack of interest when you need to redo things. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying, oh, I want to redo things. Why can't I redo things? That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just... Okay, let me show you one cutscene and one boss, and then I'll finish this for the day. I'm going to put this on back onto spawning all the things. Let me raise the volume.
What is this horrible feeling? My insides are on fire.
Oh, good. You feel it now too. I guess we're sharing more than just my power now. You are starting to experience my hatred towards the person for which I cared the most. She is a general as well. The one person who I trusted ended up betraying me.
Oh. I presume this won't be easy for you then.
Actually, I will enjoy this. Focus. Use my senses to find her. She must be close by.
Yes, I feel her. I know her position.
Yes. Set calls for her position right away. This is very exciting.
Well. The prey came to the hunter. Things just got a lot easier for me.
You wretched being. Where's the Emperor? This is the end of the road. I won't make this easy for you.
You dare to impose upon a general of the Black Order with that puny ship?
So, my dear, it's been a while. Did you miss me?
Callius, how are you free? Wait, you seriously use this brat's body for your own gratification?
I will use everything I can to see you meet the same fate I did.
This ends now. Ha!
What? Okay, so that was the end of that cutscene. Just going to there we go, shrink the outfit. Oh, wow. Beaten, exciting. Okay, I'm going to keep this in. But yeah, like most bosses, now that I know a wee bit about, it's all about learning the attack patterns. Whoa, what's going on with all those mines? That's ridiculous. And I only got her to 60%. Wow. Wait, did I make that insane difficulty? Okay. I'm going to try and keep doing it so on this added difficulty setting. Whoops. Oh yeah, those mines really mess you up. Wow. Okay, I've made the screen size so that I can at least see comments and the I'm going to just check on comments in between things. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have to dodge. Oops, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. But these additional ships are scuppering me. These additional ships, these damn additional ships. Stay here, maybe? How do I avoid all those asteroids? Wow. That is alarming. That's okay. I'm going to give this at least a couple more goes. I just noticed the way that her arm is kind of. I'm not. Looks like kind of someone who's done self-harm. Maybe I'm reading. Why can't I go lower? That's the thing I really don't understand. It's sometimes difficult to know how low or how high I can go, because I can't quite go to the bottom of the screen. Okay, okay, I will have 3 more attempts. 3 more attempts. 3 more attempts, and then I'll see what happens. Rage. Right, press the rage button. Start firing the lasers. Keep that button held down because there's no reason to not be firing lasers. Dodge these move every time it's about to fire. Oops, I should have done my special weapons a wee bit earlier. That was a waste of a few seconds of special weapons. Whoops. Interesting. Does it? I think it might be like damage triggered. So like it's. I think it might be when it's hit just under 80%, like it starts at the bombing run. So it starts off with lasers. Okay, use my guns, make sure that I destroy the bombs. Activate special weapons. There's my... Okay, there's my ship. Whoa, this screen is so intense. It's like trying to... Okay, there's a different attack now. Interesting. Oh man! Oh wow. See, this is cool. This is actually feels like an interesting bit. Okay, I want to say that I am enjoying this, and this is where, yeah, I might drop the difficulty if a couple more goes and I can me do it. Okay, so bombing run. Ship goes on bombing run. I make sure to. Oh, I forgot. I can't. Okay, come on. Destroy a wee bits of that with my lasers and my homing things. Okay, there's some interesting new pattern going on now. Okay, so this is the third pattern. So after the bleep bleep shoot, and now there's like, oh, is this a, oh cool, this is a yet another thing. Oh my gosh, I think, oh no. Ah. Okay, so this is, I am making progress, so I don't feel like I should give up just because it's the fourth or whatever attempt that I said I'd give up on. Why did I? Okay, so I got. Honestly, that is. So that is that game. That's a game that I'm enjoying. And I'm going to actually mute my computer for now. But yeah, it's been a couple of hours, and I kind of said that we're going to try and make these a bit shorter in the future. What I'm going to do is, going forwards on Sundays, I'm going to try and do more solo stuff. Whether that means a board game, whether that means a video game, I'm going to be playing something. And so, yeah, on Sunday, that's what you can maybe expect. And that I'm going to randomly, Sundays are going to be more of just a chat and a play. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. Today I reviewed a concept from someone that seems quite cool. I talked a wee bit about Junko Mizuno. I talked about Alex's thing, which I like the sound of, but there's definitely I don't understand how the attacks work or how much you heal, or I had a lot of questions from reading the rules, but it seems like a good solid start. And as I said, if you, Alex, if you are listening, if you want to play it together sometime, let me know. I don't have a working printer, but I can make a date. Or anyone, if you'd like to playtest something with me that definitely lasts half an hour or less, then let me know. I'm starting a thing on the 11th where every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and for a while Saturday, I play through something around 4 p.m. UK time. But then I played Monster Loves You, which is a fun, wee, light-hearted thing of It's like none of the endings seem bad. It's not like, oh, how you're the worst monster ever, you need to go back, or oh, you don't quite manage it. It's like, and it's not like this thing requires kindness and it says, oh, you're not quite kind enough in the text. It's like, if you fail to kindness, then no monster arrives. If you fail to cleverness, I would really like to try that cleverness bit again. I am almost tempted to try it again right now, even though that. But I might do that on my own. I enjoyed that game. Survive in Space, that seems an alright game. It's one of those games that where, yeah, it's kind of like fried food. It's easy, it's filling, but it doesn't feel, wow, that was amazing. Do you know what I mean? It's alright. But I was liking that new character on the difficult setting. But for sure, thanks everyone. Thank you, Alex and Ree, for your things. Thanks, Scrappy Kid, for popping in. It was lovely to see you. And over to you. What are you up to? You can share, but only if you want to. If you've actually watched this entire thing, or if you're listening right now, or if you're watching after the fact and you're listening right now, then what are you up to? Would you like to share anything? Do you like scrolling shoot 'em ups? What's your favourite scrolling shoot 'em up? My favourite is still probably Super Aleste, because there's just such a ridiculous nature in the weapons. Like, the weapons get screen filling. It's just so much fun. Seeing those lasers fill the screen, like, I enjoy that. Woo, woo, woo. Like, the stimulation, I enjoy that. I also really enjoy Ikaruga, which I can't remember what consoles it's been out on, but Ikaruga has been on multiple consoles for sure. And swapping between the black and white, the kind of extra aspect. I have played Radiant Silvergun. Honestly, it's a wee bit too much for me. I really enjoy Parodius, but still Super Aleste. Super Aleste is my favourite. What's your favourite scrolling shoot 'em up? Do you like scrolling shoot 'em ups? I'm interested to know. If you're watching, then check out next streams for check out stuffbybez.com/streams for my next streams. Tomorrow it's all about discussing ownership in narrative and game books. Tuesday, pitching with Rita Modal, Alan Paul, Matthew Dunstan, Nano Muckland, Micro Muckle in the evening. Wednesday is meeting Jenim, an amazing musician. Thursday, discussing translation with Maisie. Friday is Friendly Friday Forum and also chatting a wee bit about pronoun usage. Saturday is mentoring Dutch Yoda, and Sunday I will be playing something solo. Playing a solo game, but you can give advice. And if you enjoy any of this, feel free to share, spread the word. I'm not even going to bother raiding. I'm just going to finish up and say thank you very much once more. And for now, everyone, bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. And bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.